It's difficult to find friends in Britain.
No, it's not. Hello, what's the crack? What's the story? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out something a little bit different. We're checking out the dark sides of living in Britain. I like Britain. I think Britain is one of them places that as long as you're willing to work, you can do anything. You can achieve anything, in my opinion. But yeah, you guys know I moved to England about 6 years ago from Ireland, and I've loved it ever since. So yeah, let's see what this geezer has to say about the dark sides. You guys let me know if there's anything dark about Britain. Let's go.
The dark side of living in Britain. If you're contemplating moving to Britain to escape poverty, for education, for career advancement, or to raise a family, think twice before you hop on the train. There are dark sides of living in Britain that you need to consider closely. When people arrive in Britain in search of a greener pasture, they're rudely shocked by those dark sides. Today, I'm going to show you some of them. They're actually among the reasons why foreigners who intend to live in Britain don't stay. I need to quickly tell you this. The listing here represents just my personal opinion, and some might consider it a plus and not a minus. Number 1. The cost of living is high. There's no arguing this point, especially if you're living in London and other high-end cities in Britain. What you spend mostly on accommodation is a dark side of living in Britain.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, what you expect, you're coming to places like Britain. That's what it's known for. You're gonna make a lot of money, but you have to be able to pay. You have to be willing to spend as well. I live in Birmingham, and I remember when I first moved to Birmingham, I was living right in the city centre, and I got a 2-bed apartment for about, was it £850. For me, that's cheap. For Birmingham city centre, like this is like the third or second major city in England, and for that price, I think that's good. Because you could be making like 40 grand, 50 grand a year, and if you're making that, obviously, yeah. But there are some places you're paying like 600, 550 people. Places like outskirts of Birmingham. I feel like, yeah, as long as you just move to somewhere that's not expensive, if you're coming to the UK, you should be grand. There's loads of places where, maybe outside Birmingham, some places in Liverpool, Bradford, Leeds, Newcastle, you probably get like £600 for 2-bedroom house. I think. You guys let me know. I might just be ignorant. Let me know. Thank you. I feel like compared to Ireland, England is very cheap, in my opinion. Very, very cheap.
Rent is astronomically huge. Even outside those cities, rent generally gulps a large chunk of your earning, compared to the cost of living elsewhere in Europe. You're made to feel you're in the UK to work simply to get a place to lay your head. Number 2. The weather is unstable. If you have to plan your days and weeks based on weather forecasts, think twice before you start to live in Britain. The weather is pretty unstable. It rains a lot in
It's so true. You have to plan your weeks. Oh my god. Football. Do you know how many times my football has been cancelled? You guys know I support Birmingham City, and I vlog for Birmingham. I do Birmingham City vlogs. Check out Eddie Vlogs Football if you're gonna see football vlogs. But yeah, that's what you get from You can't get both. You can't. People say, "Oh yeah, I want to move to Spain." You can live in Spain, but can you make the exact same money you're making in England in Spain? No, you can't. So it's about balance. It is what it is. I work from home, so I don't get to actually go outside most of the time, which I love. Yes.
Britain. For some people, it's not a problem, especially those who were born and bred in the UK. For those who move in from other countries, the weather is something else. You can't rely on it. However, as you advance southwards, you find that you get less rain, and it usually gets warmer. Even then, when you're going out, please don't forget your brolly, is the popular saying. Well, this is the dark side of living in Britain. Number 3. Binge drinking. British drink a lot if they can afford it, and almost everyone can afford to binge. There's a dangerous culture among university students called pre-drink. This means they drink a
It is, but if you don't drink, it's grand. Like, I've never drank in my life. You guys might not believe me. I've never tasted alcohol. I've never drank. And almost everyone I know drinks. Not almost. Probably everyone I know drinks. It's just my personal preference, not because of religion, nothing like that. Just don't drink. Just don't drink. So I feel like if you don't want to do it and you're old enough not to get peer pressured, you'll be grand. You want to move to England, move on down to England. A lot of people drink, but that's part of the social settings over here. I'm sure there's other places where their culture is different. Maybe they might just go, I don't know, horse riding, I don't know, mushroom picking. I don't know, wherever you guys do, wherever you're from. But yeah, it's not really a big deal. If you don't drink, it's okay. No one's going to force you to drink. It's all right, okay?
A lot of alcohol before they go out partying. This doesn't prevent them from taking more drinks at those parties. But the basic idea is that they drink to the point of getting drunk so that they'll have a front for not drinking a lot more when they get there. They had to drink such that it will be obvious that they're drunk. That takes off the pressure to pay for more expensive drinks at their party. For other people, this might even be a pro rather than a con, an invitation to go to the UK. Let's go there and drink. It may also be excused that those binge drinkers are preserving the British thriftiness tradition while partying nicely. But this is not limited to use. Adults do it too. Imagine going on a lunch break and having a beer or two. The drinking culture here is quite permissive, but it's not going to be a
Not really. Not where I'm not in Birmingham. People go for lunch and have a beer or two. Let me know, in your city, do people do that? Maybe some places in central London, maybe on, I don't know, on a Friday afternoon, maybe. But over here in Brum, I had this, when I used to be in the office, don't see people going and having a beer for lunch. The fuck? That makes no sense to me. But yeah, let's get back to this.
dark side for the alcoholics. Number 5. Salaries are poor. How much would you consider an ideal salary? It depends on where you work vis-a-vis where you live. And we aren't dealing with figures now, oh no, not today. But why are most people using cheap and small cars? The fact is that most people living in Britain struggle to survive. The dark side of living in that country is that the salary is too poor to make you rich. Number 6. British foods.
Very true. Very true. Obviously, salaries are, but it depends where you live. Again, if I'm getting, let's say, I'm earning £1,000 a month, I'm not gonna live in a £800 house, am I? Then I'd make sure I live in a £400, £500, even that's a bit too much. Again, I'm not being ignorant. I don't earn that much. I'm just saying from experience. Because I remember when I first moved to Birmingham, obviously, the apartment I got was when the lads left. So I moved down here with 2 of my lads. And when they left, that's when I got a 2-bedroom apartment. But my very, very first place when I first came to Birmingham actually was a house share, and I was paying £350 a month. £350, and that's everything inclusive. Yeah, I couldn't afford the £850 apartment then because I wasn't working when I first came here. When I finished university, I was just there with my mates. But obviously, when you earn more money, we tend to spend more. So if you're earning like 2,000, you might be able to get it £700, £800, But if you're earning 1,000, 1,005, then you might be getting, the £350, £400, £500. Obviously, times have changed. This was back in 2016, 2017. You'd be lucky to find a good house share for £350. You could get it in places like maybe like Sunderland, somewhere in the north, probably. Again, let me know what's the prices over there. I feel like people always told me that the houses are very cheap, even in Scotland, Wales. That you guys have some cheap housing over there. Yeah, let us know how much you guys are paying down your area. Thank you. Even if you're watching from America, let us know. Wherever state you're watching from, let us know. Thank you. Australia, Canada, thank you. Let us know.
Are unseasoned. Not everyone will agree with this, but it is to many a dark side of living in Britain. If you have a background similar to mine, you would see British foods as bland. You may be surprised that some Britons don't add salt to their rice or noodles. Some people
See, that makes no sense. I hear when people say that someone's food is bland, but that's what they like. That's what they're used to. Like, I'm used to a lot of African food. I'm not sure you guys know jollof rice. If you know what jollof rice is, comment down below. It's a popular Nigerian dish. Obviously, Nigeria is my background. But yeah, that's what I'm used to. That's what I've been used to since I was young. My mom, dad, everyone around me kind of eat that. Even though I eat a lot of, Irish food, sweet potato, some, what else is there? I do like some sweet potatoes, to be fair. I'm trying to think of it naturally. When I think of Ireland, I can just think of potatoes, sausages, bacon, rashes, hash browns, things like that. But I like that because that's part of the culture. That's what I'm used to. If I move to Asia, then I might say, oh my God, this is nice, this is spicy. It depends where you grew up and what you're used to. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's bland. Okay? It's just different here until you try it. You might like it or you might not.
Consider those foods underseasoned, while it's cool for some. But there are many good restaurants where foods are adequately spiced, and there are places where you can eat continental foods. Number 7. Britons are very reserved. That's the English heritage. Britons are polite and are naturally reserved. Each one makes conscious efforts to avoid offending the next person. That politeness makes them avoid meddling in other people's affairs. However, what is considered meddlesomeness might actually lead to boredom for many. This is a dark side of living in Britain. Imagine your neighbor not caring about how you're doing and not being available to help in case of an emergency. This can make living in Britain so.
Nah, I think it depends where you live. Like I live in an apartment block here, and I know my neighbors. I probably know there's like four neighbors around me. I know two of them. When I say I know them, just I buy, and there's other two that I don't know. That I probably just because I'm always inside, and my girlfriend is the one that goes to work every single day. I work from home, and apart from that, it's part of it because you don't get to see each other. Taking the bin in, taking the bin out. If you live in a house, that's different. So I don't think you can just categorize everyone together, saying everyone is reserved. No, and it just depends who you live near. If I live someone same age as me, we might have something similar to talk about. But if not, that's just the way it is. Again, let me know if you live in an apartment or you live in a house. Do you have a lot of communication with your neighbors? Please, because back home in Kildare, in Ireland, where I grew up, I knew all my neighbors. Everyone knows everyone, literally. But over here, it's a city. I live in the city center. Everyone is living in the city center for a reason, for quick life. So it makes sense as to why I might not talk to my neighbor.
Oh, boring, less social. Number 8, it's difficult to find friends in Britain.
No, it's not.
Consequent to the point just mentioned, you'll find it difficult to make friends in Britain. It'll take a while. Remember, these people are reserved and overpolite. It's difficult to develop relationships and to deepen the existing ones. The dark side of living in Britain, if you're not a Briton, is that people don't easily open their hearts to strangers. It's a culture shock to.
I don't know, maybe it's me. I don't think so. Because most of my best friends here in Brum are my co-workers. I met them when I started working here, and we're really close friends. I feel like it depends. If you're a very reserved person, then you're not gonna make friends. But if you like doing stuff, let's say I play football, so I meet a lot of people. I do YouTube, so I meet a lot of people. I do YouTube vlogs, so I meet a lot of people when I go out to watch football matches. I go to the gym, so I meet people there. I go to Starbucks coffee. I go to Costa. I meet people outside. If you wanna make friends, you gotta be out there. You can't be inside expecting people to come to you. Am I going crazy? Let me know what you guys think about that. Yeah.
To many from places where people love to engage strangers in conversation straight away. Britons may be nice at first and talk to you for the first few seconds or so. After the small talk for a couple of minutes, they start to turn away, as if they're telling you, hey, it's time to go, I've had enough of this conversation. We can't build a relationship easily, so if you just come as an expat or a student, you should be prepared for that dark side. Number 9, houses are very small. If you're used to living in a semi-detached duplex or a house with a palatial living room and bedrooms with big beds and more space, hey, you aren't going to get that in Britain. The houses are too small. Britons generally don't live in big houses. No, not here. This is the dark side of living in Great Britain. Small houses automatically get small entrances, leading to rooms which should automatically have small doors. You'd better cut down on your weight, as you can't live comfortably in those small rooms in Britain if you're big. You'll love this nevertheless. The smaller the rooms, the cheaper it is to heat them. Number 10, roads are small. I wonder why anyone would be surprised upon entering a room in Britain and realizing that those rooms are small. Haven't you passed through roads before getting to the small houses and rooms? How wide are the roads? Haha, there you are. Roads are just too small in Britain, and that is another dark side. That's why you can't automatically get a driver's license in Britain no matter how long you've been driving your country. It's not just because you drive from the left, you also have to learn to drive on narrower roads. They are comparatively smaller than roads in other parts of Europe.
Yeah, but I feel like that makes you a better driver. Because you get to learn in crazy conditions. Do you not think? Especially when you have like roundabouts in the UK, it's crazy. You might get like 5 exits, not 5, that's taking too far. Yeah, 4 or 5 exits sometimes. There's some places in Birmingham where it's like 5 exits. And there are places like, I'm not sure if you know about Dudley Road, Soho Road in Birmingham. Wow. The road is so tight, like it's so tiny, and you have people parking on the sides. There's barely one car can barely go by, but it's for it's for 2 cars to be going on two separate ways. You guys know what I mean? And it's so tight, but the fact that you get used to that when you go abroad, go to somewhere like America, it's like, what's this? This is nothing. Because you're so used to that. So I feel like you get trained to be able to, He said car insurance is very expensive. That's very true. But I think it's very expensive for younger people. If you're under 21, yes, because you're young, you expect to make mistakes. You know, you're gonna get in loads of trouble. So it makes sense to be expensive. But I feel like once you pass the age of 25, 26, you start getting less. Let me know your experience. Thank you.
Number 11, car insurance is very expensive. That's how it works in the UK. You cannot drive a car in Britain if you're not insured. You insure not just the car, but also the driver of the car. You know what that means? You don't have a car, and you have to use your friend's car as a licensed driver. You've also got to ensure that your driving insurance is still valid. Otherwise, you have to buy insurance even if you are using the car for just 2 days. Number 12, you need a license to watch TV. It may piss you off to have to pay for what they call the TV license to watch the TV you bought with your hard-earned money. Yes, unlike what obtains in some other countries where you get a few channels, you can get a whole range of TV channels in Britain. But if you watch your TV without buying a license, you're watching it illegally. Number 13, inequality. As much as the government of the UK is talking about leveling up, inequality is still everywhere in Britain, and this is the dark side of living in the UK. The income inequality level is very high compared to other developed countries. It's also there in access to healthcare, even though it's better than what obtains in many other countries. There are other dark sides that other people will consider good sides. However, it depends on how you view it. If you love this video, please let us know in the comment section below.
I feel like there was something that they didn't really talk about there, like the healthcare. I feel like the healthcare in UK is good. For me, I feel like Ireland probably has the best healthcare that I've seen in my life. You know, I've only been to Ireland and England for healthcare. In England, it's grand. It's not the best. Don't get me wrong, it's not the best. But my experience, I remember when I had my eye, the only one time I didn't post in like a year. I couldn't post a video because my eye, I went on holiday, I went to Germany, I was playing football, and the ball hit me in the eye, and I couldn't open my eye for like a day. And I had to go to the doctors over here in England. And it took about 5 hours for them to see me. But it was so busy. And the doctors, it's just we don't praise the doctors so, as you know, we don't give the doctors the praises they deserve. They deserve so much praises because they were so busy. And when they saw me, I remember this lovely lady, when she saw me, she took her time. She wasn't, even though she's been working all day, she didn't put anger into me. She just took her time and she fixed my eye. She did some stuff, put some eye drops in. And she was so nice. I was like, wow. If that was me, I've been working for like 8-9 hours, I'll be so exhausted. I'll try my best to smile, but it's gonna be tough. But yeah, my experience at the doctors in the UK was alright. I thought it was alright. It wasn't quick, but it did the job. Yeah, if you guys want to see stuff like this, please comment below. Let me know about the latest stuff happening in the UK that you be like, Eddie, check this out. Let's the audience see it. Anything that you want to see, whether it's regarding the royal family, the crisis, the cost of living crisis, the prime minister, anything down regarding to the UK, I want to do it. I love stuff like this. So yeah, don't be shy. Comment down below, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.